All right. I want to go through some really basic skills to succeed within an arts degree. And these are all the skills that you need if you want to be a 7 student. So, as you guys know, in university, we switch up the grades a little bit. You have a scale from 1 through to 7, 7 being the best possible grade, 1 being the worst. 1, 2, and 3 are considered a fail. A 4 is considered a pass, and then 5, 6, and 7 is kind of like distinction or high distinction. So 7 is the best possible grade you can get for a university course. So what are the skills that a 7 students need? They need a comprehensive knowledge in the field of study, and what basically means you need to know and understand the content. Pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory there. So you need to attend your lectures and tutorials and be sure to take notes. Something that you guys will notice is that within your university degree, you are being given a lot more information than you may have been given at school throughout a general week. So attend all of your classes in person if you can. It can be so helpful to be there in person, experiencing things face to face, and take notes when you can. So you can have all of your content in one place and you're able to go back through and review it systematically throughout your time in the subject. A 7 art student needs an understanding of how other disciplines relate to the field of study. So you need to be able to identify connections between your major and other aspects of academia. No major is an island. They are all interconnected because this world is all interconnected. So you need to read and interact with a wide range of sources within your research tasks and understand how different problems relate to each other, how they connect, and how they might be solved in relation to each other. A 7 art student needs an international perspective on the field of study. So you need to be able to understand and work with a diverse range of perspectives on issues. So if you're a straight white woman, don't only read work written by straight white women. You need to broaden your horizons there. Take inspiration, take information from a wide range of authors, from a wide and diverse range of backgrounds as well. Having all of those perspectives can completely change your outlook on an issue, can offer solutions that you didn't see or identify before, or provide counter arguments that you can strengthen your own argument with. So it is so important to be reading widely. A 7 art student needs the ability to connect, analyze, and organize information and to convey those ideas clearly and fluently in both written and spoken form. So as I flagged earlier, communication is a major part of this degree. And that means that you're going to need to be able to organize and synthesize your arguments well. To do that, let my advice be to plan your essays well in advance, particularly when you are a first year student. The expectations for university assignments can be quite different to high school assignments, so give yourself the time to get it wrong. Draft and redraft, and give yourself every opportunity to put in a really great piece of work. So plan your essays well in advance, allow time to sufficiently research, draft, and edit. That will serve you so well. Let me be one of the few pieces of information that I really emphasize in our session today. Plan your essays in advance, allow time to research, draft, and edit. That will completely change the game. A 7 art student needs to have the ability to interact effectively with others in order to work towards a common outcome. So group assignments, they are not entirely common, but they're certainly not unheard of within an arts degree. So you need to be an effective part of a larger group, particularly within tutorial settings. So for each of your subjects, you'll have generally an hour and a half or a 2-hour lecture each week, and then around an hour tutorial session with a much smaller group of people. So in your lecture, there might be 150, 200 people, and then in your tutorial, you'll get down to like 20 people. So it's sort of like a general high school class level setting. So you need to be able to actively participate in your tutorials and be a kind, respectful contributor to any group activities. Again, having different perspectives, even just from your peers around you, is going to completely change the way you approach assessment in university, because you are developing ideas and gathering information that you may not have otherwise had access to because of others around you. A 7 art student needs the ability to identify problems, create solutions, innovate, and improve current practices. So, at the heart of so many arts assignments is a problem that you, as the student, need to solve or need to offer a solution towards. So, it is so important to be an active participant in your studies rather than a passive one. As soon as you start working passively, that is where your academics are going to suffer a little bit. So make sure you're noticing issues in your study habits, ideas, or theories that you don't understand, perspectives you cannot find, holes in your argument, real life problems that are linked to your studies, etc. So you need to be able to identify those problems when they arise so you have time to solve them, and give yourself ample time to provide solutions, whether that is on the page within an actual assignment or in your real life, to provide yourself the most well-being you possibly can. A 7 art student needs the ability to define and analyze problems. So you need to be able to identify and write about issues pertaining to your chosen study area. The arts is all about gaining a greater understanding of the issues that affect the world around us. So as I mentioned before, this is a core tenet of your studies within an arts degree. So you need to be looking outwards at the world, not shying away from those hard issues, those hard problems, and working to understand them well so that you can offer solutions towards them. Arts in that sense can be a little bit heavy if you choose a discipline like peace and conflict studies. Obviously, there's a lot of horrible things that happen in the world. Unfortunately, that's something that we live with more and more due to digital connection and communication. But you need to be aware that part of the arts degree, particularly in those disciplines, is looking at those problems in detail, pulling them apart, and finding the kind of core causes for them. A 7 art student needs to have the ability to evaluate opinions, make decisions, and to reflect critically on the justifications for the decisions that they make. So you need to be able to pull apart different perspectives from a wide range of sources and reflect on choices you make to pull together an argument. So you can't just put forward an argument and say, this is my argument. You need to be able to justify it continually throughout your work. So your assignments need a greater time commitment and reflection, primarily because you won't have that beautiful structure that you had in high school. That is something that I personally felt like was pretty jarring when I started uni. You don't have that really nice structure of a teacher checking up on you, on checkpoints, on read and marked drafts. You might not get like an actual structure with all of the headings and subheadings that you need just handed to you. You kind of have to come up with those by yourself. You need to seek out answers by going to your tutor or your professor. You need to be reading through resources that your university offers you as well within your discipline. So you need to be able to take responsibility as a student for all of your learning from start to finish. And understanding, a 7 art student needs an understanding of social and civic responsibility. So you need to be interacting within your discipline with respect, so important, and in an informed, committed, and constructive manner. Basically, at the end of the day, you need to be willing to be wrong. This is a subject that very rarely has black and white answers. A lot of answers can be deemed correct with enough solid argument and good evidence. So be willing to be wrong, be willing to learn, and to contribute to the growth of others too, of course, in a respectful manner. A 7 art student needs a knowledge of other cultures and times and an appreciation of cultural diversity as well. So you need to be open to and respectful of cultures other than your own, and you need to be able to understand their contribution to your discipline. So differing perspectives are going to elevate your work beyond your imagination. Use them. Don't shy away from them, embrace them, see what they have to offer. It can completely change the way that you approach an issue and the way that you may write an assignment.